أسير في سجونهم حقير أسير في غياهبهم أسير أسير في سجونهم حقير أسير في سجونهم حقير أسير في غياهبهم أسير أسير في سجونهم حقير.
Our brothers who are oppressed, our brothers who are raped, our brothers who are humiliated, our brothers who are in solitary confinement, our brothers who spend days and weeks in restraining chairs. You see the depriving of your brothers from contacting their family, them depriving you of rating even on your own, just to rate between you and yourself. Look at some of the, like Donald Valdrick and officials who went and expressed their grief at what they themselves were taken part of in the prisons of torture and humiliation. I'm talking about prisons outside the United States. I'm talking about prisons outside the United States. I'm talking about prisons within the United States. Justice is essential to mankind. And anyone who wants the best for himself or his country, in this, you could take it as a country as a whole, or you could take it as an individual yourself. Whenever there's oppression, Allah retaliates. Whenever you transgress on the boundaries of others, Allah retaliates. And if you want good for your country, if you want to take this as an advice for your country, take it as an advice to prosper your country, because prosperity to a country can only happen with justice. Religion, put it aside temporarily. Listen to Ibn Taymiyya rahimahullah in volume 6, page 310, and in volume, I think 28, pages 146, and in other parts of his fatwa, he mentions a quote that I want you to know, and I'm going to conclude with it. I want you to know it. I want you to hear it. I want you to convey it to the non-Muslims so they can understand it. If they want to better their country, look at what he says. A fact. إن الله يقيم الدولة العادلة وإن كانت كافرة. إن الله يقيم الدولة العادلة وإن كانت كافرة. Allah will establish, will make firm, will make strong, will continue a nation that is just, even if it's a non-believer. Even if they're kuffar and they're just, Allah will let it continue and prosper. This is Ibn Taymiyya giving you advice 700 years ago. وَلَا يُقِيمُ الظِّلْمِ وَإِن كَانَتْ مُسْلِمًا. And he will not let a country prosper and continue and move on, even if it's Muslim. So he will let a country prosper, continue and be strong, even if it's kafir, and will if it's just. And if it's Muslim but unjust, will not let it continue and prosper. إِنَّ اللَّهَ يُقِيمُ الدَّوْلَةَ الْعَادِلَةَ وَإِن كَانَتْ كَافِرَةً وَلَا يُقِيمُ الظِّلْمَ وَإِن كَانَتْ مُسْلِمًا. وَلَا يُقِيمُ الظُّلْمَ وَإِن كُنْ وَقِيلْ وَيُقَالْ. And he said, it's been said, الدنيا تقوم مع العدل والكفر. الدنيا تقوم مع العدل والكفر. He said, it's been said that world, a nation, can be established with non-believers and justice. Why you think, my brothers, back in the days, the whole world used to flock to certain countries? Not that they were just back then, but they had more justice than they did today. Why now people no longer want to be in that same country today? Why? Because it's no longer a prosperous country. Because back when it was just more than other countries, when it was a country there where people who were fleeing from the oppression of their countries used to come here for safe haven, when it was like that and it had more just than Allah let it prosper. Those same countries, many, not one, those same countries, when they began to oppress and persecute, what happened? They began not to prosper. So he says, الدنيا تقوم مع العدل والكفر ولا تقوم مع الظلم والإيمان ولا تقوم مع الظلم والإيمان. So a nation, a world can prosper with kufr and justice. And when we mean justice, it's not justice of their religion, it's justice of not harming other people. The just meaning them in between Allah, they're oppressing themselves. They're oppressing themselves, but Allah can tolerate because that's between them and Allah. Allah will tolerate that. But once it transgresses to other rights, where you take other people's property, where you curse other people, where you whip other people, where you imprison them, where you take them as cattle, where you take them and oppress and persecute them, when you do all that to them, then that's the right of others. Allah will not let that continue on. Never. This is the world that the country that you thought was going to prosper will no longer prosper. This is advice that if you can write it in ink of gold and pass it on throughout the United States, so let them take this advice and learn it from Ibn Taymiyya 700 years ago.